It's Tuesday, the 17th of August 2021. Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Headlines, the business news you need in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. In today's headlines, New South Wales fears reaching 1,000 COVID cases a day, Victoria introduces a nighttime curfew, the ACT extends its lockdown, the war against COVID shows few signs of abating. Plus, Defence Forces rush to Afghanistan to help evacuate Australian citizens. BHP's in talks to transform its business away from fossil fuels, and a slew of earnings results from JB Hi-Fi to BlueScope Steel. Our lead story today, New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian has warned that the Delta variant of COVID-19 is so transmissible that some restrictions could be required indefinitely. And if people don't comply with public health orders, daily numbers could push beyond 1,000. Her comments came after the state recorded another 478 new cases yesterday, a record figure which Ms Berejiklian described as disturbingly high. Victoria reported 22 new local cases yesterday, and its lockdown has been extended for 2 weeks. A curfew will be in effect from tonight between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m, triggering anger among business and community groups. Essential workers and those who can't study at home will need permits to leave their houses, while playgrounds and outdoor recreation parks will be closed. And the ACT has extended its lockdown into next month after 19 new cases were recorded yesterday. Planned sittings of federal parliament now look like being cancelled. It's clear that many Australians, and certainly most of New South Wales, will remain in lockdown until vaccination rates achieve a 70% level. That will be weeks or months away. The federal government will have to consider stepping in to prop up the economy once again. The share market has done well, but as profit season rolls on and CEOs keep saying they can't forecast earnings because of uncertainty, confidence in markets will be bruised. It's going to be a very tough couple of months. In overseas news, around 250 Australian defence personnel will support the airlift of Australian citizens and humanitarian visa holders from Afghanistan amid chaotic scenes in Kabul. The US military took over Afghanistan airspace yesterday as it rushed to evacuate American citizens. Kabul and all land borders are now controlled by the Taliban, and people rushed to the airport trying to escape. Chinese industrial output rose by 6.4% during July compared to a year earlier, but it was the slowest increase in 11 months and well below market expectations. For the first 7 months of the year, industrial production grew more than 14% year-on-year. It was just one of a number of data points released by Beijing yesterday, and the picture emerged of an economy growing less quickly than expected. Pfizer and BioNTech have provided early-stage data to US regulators that shows a third dose of their COVID vaccine leads to higher levels of protective antibodies when given 8 months after the initial regimen. Previous data suggests the efficacy of the vaccine against mild cases may fade around 6 months, although protection against strong cases remains. Locally, Sydney Airport has rejected a new $30.3 billion bid from a consortium including a number of large super funds. Like the previous bid, this one was rejected by the airport as undervaluing the group, but Sydney Airport said it is open to engaging with the consortium. The fact that the group's share price is up just 0.3% to $7.77 yesterday suggests investors don't think this deal will be done. Mind you, it's much higher than the $5.75 a share it was trading at prior to the first offer. BHP is set to announce a bumper dividend when it reports its half-year earnings today, paying out around $7 billion to shareholders. But the bigger news, according to media reports, are plans to divest the group's $20 billion portfolio of oil and gas assets, probably to Woodside Petroleum. And it's quite possible CEO Mike Henry will also announce a multi-billion-dollar investment in fertiliser potash based on assets in Canada. The shift in direction for the big Australian, if it goes ahead, will remake the company and reduce its carbon footprint substantially. It will also remake the oil and gas sector in Australia. JB Hi-Fi recorded its 8th consecutive year of record profits, pretty amazing, with high demand for appliances and consumer electronics underpinning a strong 2021 financial year. JB and Good Guys have both benefited from people not travelling overseas and instead spending money on their homes. But the best may be over. New Chief Executive Terry Smart said 55% of stores are currently closed due to lockdowns, and the group couldn't forecast earnings for this half. BlueScope Steel announced a big profit of $1.2 billion for the last financial year and a huge dividend for shareholders, as well as a share buyback program. That's what happens when there's a building boom going on and everyone wants your products. Sales volumes of many of its goods, like Colorbond fencing, were higher, as were profit margins. And Telstra will give its employees who get fully vaccinated the equivalent of $200 in a voucher, although will stop short of mandating vaccinations. The voucher can be redeemed at many major retailers, and Chief Executive Andy Penn said everyone should play their part in making a difference to the spread of the virus. That's the Fear and Greed business headlines for today. Make sure you hit follow so you get it every morning. And if you'd like more detail and more stories, search for our longer daily podcast called Fear and Greed. We also release a daily interview. Today we're talking about how to invest in the New Zealand stock market. Don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook and Twitter, or go to fearandgreed.com.au. I'll be back later with the afternoon market report. I'm Sean Aylmer. Have a great day.